Okay, are you guys still there? I'm going to give everyone a couple minutes to chime back in. Oh my goodness. So here I am chatting away and my phone goes dead. And well, sure enough, my phone was dead. So I had to go charge it and pick it in. So hopefully everybody is back and we can continue our chat. I'm going to give everybody a chance to get back on online here. Okay, wow. So now my phone is just rotated. I'm a mess. But hey, I'm going to keep trying because I have a feeling that once we get this, we're going to be off and running. So with that being said, hopefully you guys are all finding your way back to me and we can continue our chat. So one of the things that I noticed this week was how complacent and how easy it is to get complacent when you don't have your usual schedule. Hi, Jen. Thanks for tuning in. Sorry if you lost me that first time. You know, when we're on vacation or we have a couple days off or it's the weekend, it's so easy to get into that mode of, okay, I'm going to sleep in and I'm going to rest and relax. And I think maybe the first couple days of our quarantine was probably a lot like that, right? I mean, I don't know. If you went upstairs right now, my girls are still sleeping. They still think they're on vacation. But as an adult, part of adulting is we get ourselves up, we have a schedule, and we keep ourselves moving and in creating a little momentum for our day. So what I'd like to really suggest is that even though we don't really have any place to go or any place to be right now because, you know, our world is kind of taking a pause, and that's assuming you're not in a field in which you are being asked to stay home because you're not able to work. But for those of us that are home, I'd really like to encourage you to just create a schedule for yourself. It's Sunday, and this is a great day to do just that. It's a great day to, you know, kind of look at your week ahead and take a look at maybe some of the things that you've wanted to always do but haven't been able to because you've been busy. I mean, the other day, my friend Kim, she posted that she had caulked her kids' tub. What? That's awesome. I'm going to be doing that as well because my tub needs to be caulked too. So it's things like that. I think now is a great time to get your honey-do list out and to put yourself to work, you know, keep yourself busy because when you're busy, you're in the moment. And when you're in the moment, you're not spinning here, you know, and triggered and thinking about all the can'ts. You're busy in the action. Hi, John. Thanks for coming back. Whoops. So one of the great things about creating an agenda for yourself and looking at your week ahead is to just create that mindfulness. Okay. So what is going to happen this week? Like, I know that I'm not working and I know that I don't have my usual schedule. I know that the kids are, you know, like kind of look at all the known facts, you know, like what do you know? What can you count on? Okay. Like for me, for instance, I know I'm going to be home. So I know that I'm going to do see my clients online. So today I'm going to make sure that I schedule my clients and confirm everything for the week. And then in between that schedule, I'm going to take a look at, you know, okay, well, my girls are home and I know it's important to keep us active. So where can I schedule some time to be active, whether it's to go for a walk or a hike, you know, obviously far away from anyone else. You know, I know that there's some projects that I wanted to do. I have a little girl that is a senior in high school, so I'm going to take advantage of a few hours a day to pull out the pictures and work on her scrapbook. And hi, Elena, thank you for tuning in. How are ya? And, you know, just things like that. So I want to just invite you to take a look at what it is that you have wanted to do. and create, some mindful scheduling for yourself this week so that you can keep yourself busy. Maybe be creative on where you put the schedule. Maybe hit Home Depot and buy some chalkboard paint and paint a wall in your house and write your schedule out every day, or make a wall of gratitude so that, every time you're feeling like, oh, I'm stuck in the house and I can't do this and I can't do that, you can write on the wall and make it visual what you can do. How blessed and abundant we are to have this time to be with our families, to have this time to be home, to have this time out to just be with ourselves. Maybe this is the time in which, we say, oh my goodness, I've always wanted to start a meditation practice. So while I'm home, I'm going to set my alarm and create 3 times a day to just close my eyes and breathe and be in the light and find my way in my meditation. Maybe this is a time in which, you've always wanted to start, cooking. Oh my goodness. The markets are still open. Go grab yourself your favorite. Hi, Jim. Welcome back. Grab yourself your favorite ingredients. Pull out your cookbooks and make that recipe that you've been saying you've wanted to make for a long time. Oh, there's my neighbor again, back to tree trimming. So again, like I was saying in my beginning of my Facebook Live, we are all trying to live in this world together, under this new norm together. And so embrace each other and our differences, because living like this, we're all going to notice how each other does what we do and what we do to keep ourselves evoked and involved, what we do to keep our coping mechanisms in check so that they remain healthy. And, just checking in with our own personal space to see, like, how does it feel to not have all these, interactions the way that we're normally used to having them? How does it feel to not, get up and go to work? Have I figured out how to work from home yet? So let's talk about that. Has anybody, else figured out how to adapt to this norm? I see that a lot of people are chiming in right now, and I would love to hear your feedback. Hi, Larry. Thanks for chiming in. But seriously, let's talk about some of the things that we're doing to keep ourselves in the bend of what's happening, and bending so that we can create better trajectory for what has been predicted in our time, and we can come out as better human beings throughout this process. So what I've been sharing for myself is that I've really tried to create a mindful schedule so that I can keep myself, hi CJ, how are you? So I can keep myself on track and making sure that I'm still seeing my clients and I'm scheduling them appropriately, and then taking advantage of this time to be with my family and, really creating some quality time with my kids. And hi Wayne, how are you? And, one of the things that I do for a living is teach movement. Oh, here's one. Some self-development activities that have been on my to-do. So CJ, tell me more about that. What are your self-development activities? God only knows I could go on and on about mine. My list is a mile long because I love doing stuff like that. But what I love even more is hearing what other people do for their self-development. So CJ, what are you doing? Staying focused with productivity. What does that sound like? What does that look like? How are you staying focused with that? I've been drinking so much coffee. I need to be mindful today to drink more water. So let's all put that on our mindful list. Drink more water, because water is going to really help us stay hydrated and feeling good. And why not? We have all the time to go to the bathroom all day long right now, so we may as well flush our systems. All right, so CJ, tell me more about your productivity. What kind of things are you doing to keep on the up? Hi, Jen, how are you? For those of you that are just joining in, we are just starting to talk about some of the things that we are doing to keep ourselves going during this time, and what are the things that we're doing for personal development, and how we're keeping some mindful agendas and schedules for ourselves. Hi, Brooke. How are you? So my friend CJ was just beginning to tell us that, he's been trying to really work on his self-development, and as he writes, to continuing to write his book. And it's about love and relationships, carving out 1 hour per day. So that's awesome. That's a perfect example of how somebody is organizing mindfully to keep in alignment with their goals. And that's exactly what I'm talking about. So, CJ is passionate about writing a book right now. And I think that a lot of us have a lot of things that we can share. Oftentimes we think, oh my God, I have to be some huge entity to write a book. Well, you know what? I think people like you and I make the best writers because we have some really common interests, some very authentic human experiences. And when we share that from our heart, it really is approachable and invites people into our heart space. So I'm really happy to hear that, CJ. Great job. I can't wait to read your book. And I hope that others out there are taking the time to write. I mean, this is a great time to write. Write about your life. Write about the things that make you happy. Let's start documenting what life is like. I mean, after all, this time in our life is going to be in those history books. So for those of you that haven't journaled or haven't written before, I would love to create some space for us to do a little writing circle so that we can start journaling and writing about the things that are going on with our lives. And I can't wait to hear more about that. As everybody knows, if anyone that knows me knows that I love to write, and I'm always writing about how I feel. Hi, Paigey, how are you? Mwah. How's everything in Santa Clarita? Are you home from school, Paige? So yeah, so writing. Write. I mean, I'll let you know a little piece of me. I go to therapy once a week, and I work with someone that really helps me just kind of overcome some of the things that I've been through in my life and help me work through some of the things that I'm going through in my life now, and help me to rise above it all and make purpose out of that. And so I try to share that experience with all of you as much as possible, because I really believe that it is the things that we live in life that become our greatest attribute to share with other beings. So if you are going through something in your life right now, besides, of course, our quarantine, or maybe that's just it. Maybe we should start writing a little memoir or living a quarantine in life today. But share it. Share who you are, because your story, whether you realize it or not, has so much value. And sharing your perspective and what it's like to look through life from your lenses, it's incredible. And I know that someone is going to be able to relate to it. One of the most important things that I like to share with people is no one, and again, what I'm going to say is not rocket science, but it's just a friendly reminder. No one, there is not one person in the world that is made the same. Not one of us. We're all different. And because of that difference is our superpower. It gives us the ability to share life through our lens, how we see it based on how we're feeling and what we're giving and what we're receiving. And so the more and more we share on a healthy level, the more and more we offer exposure and expansion to all beings. And all we can really do is be within ourselves and be the best version of ourselves and be comfortable within our skin. And then share that. Because when we do, it inspires others to do the same. So I'm grateful to hear. Hi, Teresa. How are you? How's Ryan doing? How are the kids? I'm really grateful. Having a hard time hitting those little waves. I really enjoy writing and sharing myself, and I'm grateful to hear that other friends and colleagues of mine like CJ are doing the same. Hi, Tia. How are ya? And I really want to encourage all of you today to just get out a journal. I don't even care if it's a Post-it. Just start writing. I remember, hi Tara, how are you? Mwah! My gorgeous friend. How are you, sweetie? Hi Joanna. Oh, all of you guys are just chiming in. Hi Mike. Okay, so that being said, here's a funny fun. My Auntie Rosie, she's going to kill me. Maybe not. I don't know. But the last time I was at her house, everywhere that I went, on doors, on walkways, on, just places that you could see, there were Post-its. Post-its posted to, hi Courtney, how are you? To everywhere. And I loved it because on each Post-it, it said something positive. It said, remember, you're amazing, or I love you, or you look great today, or some powerful quote that really inspired her. And at first I was like, what the fuck? What the heck? Oh God, there it goes. I'm going to start scrolling. Okay, so I'm letting go, guys. Are you ready? What the fuck is up with all these Post-its, right? So after being there a couple days, I realized it was the most ingenious thing ever because, that's the whole point. Hi, Jeffrey. How are you? Hi, Tiffany. She's back. At the end of the day, the most important person to love and hang out with and to be friends with is yourself. And it took me 45 years to develop a friendship with myself. I could cry because it means that much to me. And it took me going through some fucking shit for sure. But through my healing, hi Kat, how are you, sweetie? It really helped me develop the person I am today. Develop the person I am today that I enjoy hanging out with. Develop the person I am today so that when I go out and I'm with others, I feel comfortable within my own skin and I'm not scared and I'm not triggered and I'm not freaking out all the time because I've learned how to be my own buddy. And if I can share anything to you, it is to take that time to figure out what that means to you. How it started for me was my therapist, she asked me to go get a picture of myself when I was a little girl. And so I did. I got this cute little picture of me, little side ponytail, cute little big teeth. And and she was just the cutest thing ever. I was beside myself. I fell in love right away. And every time that I was hurting or somebody hurt my feelings or I was remembering something that hurt me, anytime that happened, she asked me to just talk to myself and to even look at that picture and to make it a mental memory in my memoir and in my heart so that when things came up, I could just say, okay, all right, I hear you and I love you and everything's going to be okay and you're going to be all right and we're going to get through this. And, or maybe, all right, maybe you're taking that personal and maybe that's about somebody else. And maybe you need to just worry about you, Joni. Yep. That was my little name when I was a little girl. Everyone used to call me Joni. So it's kind of like those Post-its that I was sharing with you that my lovely auntie had posted everywhere around her house. It's kind of like having that internal conversation. Hey, Jordan, what's up? Ah! It's about having that internal, hey, Dave, how are you? Hi, Chicago. What's up, Chicago? Alex, how are you? It's kind of like having that internal conversation. Oh, my gosh, you guys are coming in so fast, coming in hard. Okay, hi, Brad. How are you? God, it's been forever. Okay, so what I'm saying to you is having that little personal conversation with your little boy or little girl, right? It's kind of like putting those Post-its out. It might sound wacky or wonky, but you know what? Be wacky and wonky. Who the fuck cares? Just be you and do what you need to make yourself feel good. And if that means for my aunt to put Post-its all over her fucking house that say, I love you, you're the bomb.com, then do it. Do it. Right now, we need to feel good. So for me, it's about looking at my little picture of my little girl and even like when my friends or my love fucking pisses me off and triggers me to shit, I can easily just, have a little check-in with myself. I call it a little perception checking. And in that perception checking, have a moment to just say, okay, well, is this true? Is it really happening? And, or is it somebody else's stuff that's really happening with them? And just letting myself know that I have all the power within myself to just be okay. Because like I said at the beginning of this feed, or the beginning of this chat, the best superpower you have and I have is that nobody is like me. Nobody's like you. Nobody's like you. So therefore, when you say something to somebody else, it doesn't necessarily mean it's true. It just means how you feel based on what you're experiencing. Hear that? It's how you feel based on what you're experiencing. So therefore, if let's say 10 different people tell me how they feel, right? And I take all that like, oh my God, it must be true. I'm fucked. I will definitely be crazy. Cuckoo. Because I will be taking on 10 different people's perceptions of how they're experiencing life. How they're experiencing life through their little boy or their little girl. And depending on if their little boy or their little girl is nurtured or healthy or in crisis, that comment here or that talk track, that feedback that they're giving me could stem from that. So at any given time, I could easily be in the fire line of reacting to a bunch of different things, a bunch of different energies. And the one thing that I've learned to be really, really mindful and aware of is that while that can very well be, I have all the power to stay within me. And if I stay within me and I parent and I do my job to parent my little girl, and I have great talk tracks with her, and I have the ability to calm her down, to self-soothe, to know that if I'm not feeling good, I have all the power to go do something to change that momentum, to change that energy. It makes all the difference. So, if you need to put Post-its up all around your house right now, do it. Do what feels good. My friend CJ, he was saying that he loves to write, and that really helps him kind of evoke and open up his personal power, and sharing that is quite an empowering experience for all. And I know for me, it does the same. So like, for instance, we have a chalkboard wall in my house, and one of my to-do lists today is I'm going to clean it off and make it a gratitude wall, so that throughout the day, whenever we're feeling like, I can't do this and I can't go here and I can't go there, I'm going to stop that and change the momentum by simply writing on my little gratitude wall, but I can do this. And if that means I can organize my shoes in my closet, or I can paint my toes a different color, or I can go outside and lay in the grass and stare at the sky, then that's what I'm going to do. But I'm going to constantly be reminding myself of the things that I can do now. And I assure you that if you do that too, we're all going to be in a world of cans instead of can-nots. And that's, oh my God, going to make all the difference. So with that being said, does anyone else want to share anything? Some of you guys have the most unique names ever. And I just want to say hello. I can't always pronounce everything. Hi, Michael. But I hope that you feel me in spirit. I'm just going to go down and acknowledge some of you beautiful folks that have tuned in to Sunday Soul Talks. And again, I want to hear from you. I want to hear what you're doing to keep yourself in the light and full of cans. So let's talk about cooking. I was talking with my girlfriend Tiffany. Her and I grew up in Chicago together, and she is a fellow foodie like myself. We love to cook. And it's been, hi Cher, how are you? It's been awesome. Just kind of pulling out some of the recipes from our childhood. And, I love to just kind of mix things together. I feel like a mad scientist sometimes in the kitchen. So I'm wondering, is anyone else having a really fun time cooking right now and just getting in their kitchen and pulling out some of their cookbooks or childhood recipes and sharing that with their family? I mean, really, what else do we have to do these days except for spend time enriching in some of the soul foods that we love? So I've really taken the time to just be mindful about what I'm eating, because I'm not busy, and I don't have the excuse of, oh, I'm so busy I can't prep my foods, or oh, I'm so busy I didn't have time to cook, so I wouldn't, got takeout. I mean, hopefully that, I'm not the only one here that is, hi Dallas, great name, that is out there and just taking the time to prepare some meals at home, because you can. I know the markets are giving us some different dynamics now and creating some structures so that we don't have, at least here in San Diego, so that we don't have a lot of people in the markets, and they're putting some limitations. Hey Natalie, how you doing, girl? So I just wanted to see how, each of us, we're taking the time to just get ourselves to the market, to feed our vessels with really healthy foods right now. I know that I stocked my refrigerator up with tons of fruits and vegetables. And, while everyone was going to get the pasta and the canned goods, I was like, eek. I went straight to the produce and there was tons of it. So I literally just filled my cart with everything green, every fruit and vegetable. Last night, instead of having ice cream, we made acai bowls. Oh my God, it was so good. Yes, and so that's kind of what is spinning this off is my bestie and I have really been having fun. Tiffany, her and I have been having fun just talking about the different foods that we are cooking. She was making some gnocchi tonight. Did I say that? Gnocchi? Gnocchi. Is gnocchi sex or is gnocchi pasta? I'm so excited. Nope. Gnocchi? Oh, I'm having a Jessica Simpson moment. Remember when she was like, is chicken of the sea chicken or tuna? Oh my God, I'm going crazy. Well, if anyone knows me, I already am crazy. But anyways, how is it said? Gnocchi? No, I feel like gnocchi is like a word for sex. So is it gnocchi or gnocchi? Gnocchi. It's gnocchi. Tiffany, how do we say it? Tell me how it's said. Spell it out phonetically for me. Well, anyway, she was making homemade ones today. And I don't know if you've ever done that before. I did it with my grandma Tatiana once. It is not an easy task, but it can be done and they're so, so good. So pull out those recipes. Start sharing them with your kids if you have kids. And, I've noticed just from being home and my kids not being able to order Uber Eats or DoorDash, they've been cooking too. So my girls have been in the kitchen. Like I said last night, instead of making ice cream, my daughter Bella, she made us an acai bowl. It was so good. And my body felt so good this morning. I didn't feel yucky from eating ice cream, right? It felt super, super good. So just things like that, trying different recipes and being really mindful of how much appreciation we can have instead of feeling like, oh, I can't do this and I can't do that, but rather be appreciative for this time that we have together and appreciate that we have the time to be in the kitchen, to make meals for ourselves that maybe we normally wouldn't, to pull out some recipes that normally we wouldn't, and maybe just kind of like having a little writing circle. Maybe we could have a little cooking share where we can get together and share some of our favorite recipes, and we can do different cooking demos for each other and share how we are feeding ourselves and being mindful of our nutrition during these times. So raise your hand or give me a wave if you're in on that. We can definitely create that space for each other. I know I'm down anytime. So that was another way. So we've kind of checked in and talked about, how we are being mindful of our schedules and how we can plan, a mindful agenda for what we want to do for this day, for one, but also this week coming up. And some of the things that we can do, we've talked about, just kind of working maybe on our meditation practice and maybe working on cooking a little bit more. Someone had earlier wrote in, let's see who it was. Who are you? Where are you? My love, my love, my love. Tia and Sean, they had said we need workouts and yoga at home. And you know what? I am so fired up about that one because that's my thing. I love working out. I love doing yoga. And I find that both of them, for me, are a great way for me to kind of motivate and create momentum for my day and my overall being. Okay. So if you are not someone that has this ingrained and is a habit like I do already, let's just start from here. Okay. And for those of you that already do have your practice for yoga and workouts, you'll relate to this, I'm sure. When I work out, I got to be honest, there are days when I'm like, oh, I can't wait to work out. And, I just think about it until the moment I'm working out. And then when I'm working out, I'm feeling just super amazing, right? Like I'm excited about doing it. But there are also days when I'm like, I don't feel like working out. Especially because I work out for a living. It's part of my job. So yeah, there are days when the last thing I want to do is personally go work out, right? So if you fall under that space and it really takes some some mindfulness to ingrain that sort of repetition and that passion, that craving, here's a great way to start. Put it in your schedule, okay? Just like eating, right? You know that you're going to eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner, right? Hopefully. You know that you're going to take a shower, hopefully. You know that you're going to brush your teeth, hopefully. Put it in your schedule. Make it part of your day. And now, while you have time on your hands and the world is slowing down, put it in your schedule. Put it in your schedule. Make it part of your day. You know, maybe starting today, when you get your writing material out to start journaling or writing your Post-its, you can create a schedule of workouts. And maybe you start by putting Monday, yoga, Tuesday, Pilates. I mean, these are things that I would do. Wednesday, meditation. Thursday, sit-ups and push-ups. Friday, go for a walk. Saturday, you know, do you catch on? Like every day, find something to be active and keep yourself moving. And I'm so proud of my health and wellness industry right now, because all I see in our feeds are health and wellness professionals just like myself that are committed in investing their time online and in social media to provide their services on every level. So I'm hoping that you can at least find one person, if not many, to really align with, to resonate with, so that you can connect with on that level. And now there's no better time. I mean, our feeds are saturated with people showing great examples of how they're keeping fit and active during these times. So I personally have 30 days of wellness going on right now, and it is my contribution to offer my free services to all of you that are ready to receive. And each and every day, I'm dedicated and committed to learn how to be more social media present and provide my services during these changing times. As you all can see, I've had funny bloopers. The other day I posted a yoga class and my screen was turned the wrong side. So, I mean, I'm human. I'm learning right there with you, but I'm committed to learn. And that's all I ask of you, you know, commit to be bendable and flexible to these times. And while maybe you were able to get to the gym and go get a great workout there, maybe you were able to get to your Soul Cycle class, or maybe you were able to get, you know, to your boot camp or your Pilates studio or your yoga studio. Well, maybe now you just take this opportunity to do it at home, to do it online, to find somebody to connect with that feels good from this distance, right? That you can still get your workouts on, that you can still get your meditations in with, that you can still find your physical therapy. You know, what I love about working out for me is that once I get myself going, hey Ray, how are you? Once I get myself going, it's got legs, it's got momentum. And so it's like, while it may take some work, it's kind of like we talk about sometimes going to the gym, the hardest part is just getting ourselves there. Well, you know, when we're at home, get your mat out, get whatever, you know, materials you have. If you have hand weights, or, you know, there's lots of different things that we can use for weights. There's resistance bands, there's towels, there's blocks. There's lots of different ways, full body workouts that really get the job done. And like I said, I don't always have, you know, the full motivation to do this. However, once I get going, I'm gone. I'm in it. And then I'm excited to be there. And that's the whole point of a practice, whether it's a meditation, a yoga, movement, writing, whatever your practice is. It's a practice. No one's going to start it and be perfect right away. The whole idea is to start something new because you're not a master. And to start it with the idea of, I'm going to be playful, I'm going to have fun with this, This is something new that I've always wanted to try. This is something new that I know that is good for me. And maybe, you've been working out for a while and your workouts feel stale. Maybe now is a good time to try something new, to learn something new, to get to that bucket list of things that you've always wanted to try and do, and allow that to be your practice each day when you're making your schedule. Maybe you put on there, I wanted to learn how to paint. So on Tuesday, I'm going to create some hours for me to paint. I know one of the things on my list is gardening. And it just happens to be spring. There's no better time to garden than now. So my goal for this week is to, hit the garden center. Rumor has it Home Depot is delivering. So that could be even more awesome because then I don't have to even go anywhere. But I thought I would, move my day into my work schedule in the morning, some mindfulness for creating my meal preps and my meal planning, but then also create time for my workouts, both morning and night. Maybe, have a gentle yoga practice on one end of the day and on the other end, a more robust workout. But I also want to provide time for myself so that I can do things that I enjoy, like hobbies, like perhaps reading. And what I just spoke to was gardening. So my dream right now is to have this beautiful succulent garden in the front of my house. I have this awesome little space for it. And so I've been thinking about it. I've been having a little sweet romance with it. And all my thoughts are cultivating, the different things that I'm manifesting and I'm putting out there. Because the more I attune to that vibration of the things that I want, the more I can just stand still and let those things fall right into my space. And that's what we call feeding the vortex. So that's a great space to parlay into, feeding your vortex. What does that mean? So what is a vortex? So what I'd like to just say is a vortex, if you can see me, wow, my vortex is so big. And hopefully yours. So imagine you're like this, okay? And you've got this big bubble around you. And right now with this social distancing, we're asked to stay in your vortex, right? And I think it's brilliant because we all should stay in our vortex more anyways, right? It's when we leave the vortex that trouble is caused. It's when we leave the vortex and we try to get into somebody else's, that's usually when no bueno. Bad things happen. You get into fights with people, you feel out of alignment. So what I want to say is, stay in your vortex. Remember, we talked about there's nobody else like you. Your superpower is you, and the fact that nobody's like you. So the fact that you can be you with your own superpowers and create this vortex of energy. Now, what you're thinking right now is feeding your vortex. So if you're not thinking positive thoughts, if you're dwelling on the past, if you're hurting, if you're scared, if you're fearful, you're sending all that energy into the vortex. If you're complaining, you're sending all that energy into the vortex. Now, here's the thing about a vortex. There's all these free floating energies around you that you've created, of course, because you are the creator. You are the creator of your life. Okay, you have a superpower, and that is that no one else is like you, but you are also the creator of your life. Okay, so therefore, if you have this vortex and you are creating and feeding your vortex with all of those thoughts, all of your mind chatter, all of your mind chatter, all of your feelings, and you're creating this vortex, I want you to just take a moment. Look at that vortex. What does it look like? What's in there? We should all know what's in our vortex. It's kind of like when we open the refrigerator. We know what's in there, right? We should know what's going on. So if this is new conversation with you, if this is new language for you, and you're trying to figure out what's in your vortex, spend some time today. Don't wait. Spend some time today alone. And this is a great part where, journaling and writing can come into play. Maybe make a list. Make a list of all the things that you are aware that you've put out there that are in your vortex. And then next to the list, I want you to just write two things. One or the other, I should say. Does that feel good or does that feel bad? All right? So once you make that list of all the things that you've fed your vortex, not when you leave your vortex and what happens. However, that's also feeding your pool. We'll get to that in another chat. But seriously, talk to yourself and listen to yourself and learn about what's in your vortex and make that list. Does it feel good or does it feel bad? Because what you want to know, what you want to realize is what feels good will attract more and 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 more of it. What feels bad will attract more of that. So now you know you have a superpower. No one else is like you. You are the only person that is able to look through that lens, and that lens is unique, right? And when you are looking through that lens, what are you feeding your vortex? What are you putting out there? Does it feel good or does it feel bad? Because now is the time to create this mindfulness. And the best part of it being Sunday is we have a great opportunity to change the direction in which we're going. To start with a clean slate tomorrow morning. And to do that, hi Jenny, how are you? Jenny on the block, Jenny on the block, Jenny on the block. Mwah, 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 mwah. I love you. But what's awesome is we have a great opportunity right now to start feeding our vortex. Just like we feed our vessel, just like we feed our mind, just like we feed our heart, just like we feed our inner child. To feed our vortex with positivity. Right? To take a look at what we're feeding and does it feel good or does it feel bad? And to make a choice. Do I want to continue to feed it with negativity knowing that I'm just going to attract more and more of it? Or do I want to continue to feed it the good? Because what I really want, hi Sonia, how are you, sweetheart? Because what I really want is more and more and more of that good. So here's what I'm going to ask you all to do with me. Let's just take this little experiment. Okay, let's close our eyes right now. And I want you to just think about something that feels really, really good. And as you think about that something that feels really, really good, I want you to really align and attune to all the details about it. What it smells like, what it feels like, what it tastes like, what the vibration feels like within you when you're experiencing it. And as you are focusing for the next few moments, I want you to send it breaths of light, giving it light, praising what you love. Because when you praise what you love, you get more and more of it. Take a deep breath in. Feed your vortex. Feed it with all that goodness. Feed it so much with all of the things that you want and feel good that it dissolves the unwanted and inspires more and more and more and more of what is good. Take a deep breath in and slowly exhale. How do you feel now? How do you feel now? I mean, that's a pretty good high, right? That's a pretty good high that's free and that you have the power to do at any given time. And that's how you feed your vortex. Here's what I want to say. I know, those landscapers. What, like I was saying at the beginning of this, is, you know, we're all trying to figure out how to live in this closed little bubble together. And today my neighbors decided to trim their trees. So, well, I just have to learn how to live with that, don't I? And the best thing I can do is not focus on it, but focus on us right here because this feels good. So that's what I'm going to do. And the best part about it is it doesn't last forever. It's just intermittent. So when it is, we just giggle. Just like the other sounds that we hear and experience in our own lives from where you are. I'm sure there might be noise going on in the background, and chances are it might not all feel good or sound good, and it's within us and our decision to go and stay within our vortex and feed it with what feels good and what we can control. I can't control the landscapers. It's a perfect example. So therefore, all I can do is sit within and hold my own vibration to the highest of high and be. And that's kind of like the best part of this practice here and now, is that, there are so many Hi Kim, how are you? There are so many unconditional factors. I'm trying to say hi. There we go. There are so many unconditional factors going around in this world that we can't control. And so when we get in our own practice, to practice being within and to practice doing what we can control within ourselves, which is to notice our thoughts and to feel through our heart and to feed our vortex with good vibrations, that's all stuff that we can control. And how do we control that? We control it with our superpower, the ability of knowing that there's no one else like us, and no one can do or think or be who we are other than me, you, and you, and you, and you. And you can't do it for somebody else. You can't do it like somebody else. The best thing you could possibly ever do is do it just like you. And know that that is enough, that that is a beautiful thing. And that is really what we all need as a collective. We need to be who we are, hold our own space, feed our vortex with positivity so that we can radiate that light from within. Because right now, the world needs our light. There are so many reasons why we can focus on what we can't do. There are so many reasons why and how we can focus on what we don't have and what is unwanted. And that certainly is a choice. It's a choice. It's an opportunity to do things in that fashion. And so if you choose to do that, I invite you to pay attention to what kind of results you're getting back in your life. And then ask yourself that question, does it feel good? Because if it doesn't, chances are you probably need to make some different choices. But again, who am I to say? I'm just giving you some suggestions. For me, I have found my medicine is feeding my vessel with positivity. And today in our Soul Talks, we have just really shared some of the ways in which we do so through the vessels of writing, through mindful nutrition, taking time for our practices, whether they might be yoga or meditation or fitness therapy, making time for our personal self-development and hobbies. We had talked about how, fabulous cooking can feel for our soul and how perhaps gardening can feel. I plan to maybe not get out there like my neighbor and trim my trees, but plant a succulent garden. And I have never planted a fruit and vegetable garden before, so I'm going to do that too. Why the heck not? I love fresh produce, so that feels good to me. And I know that in doing that, that's going to feed my vortex with things that feel good. And like we're saying, things like writing and sharing, ideas and creating and being a friend to myself and a good parent to my little girl, cooking for my family, spending time with my kids and being home and just loving and appreciating my home. I mean, gosh, I have such a big appreciation for this warm, beautiful home that I get to be quarantined in. And for those of you out there that can appreciate and understand what I'm saying, I just want to send beams of light out to you from my heart to yours. And just thank you for checking in with me today and creating these soul talks. I know personally for me today, I'm going to set aside some time to work on my curations for the next, I guess this is day 6. So we have 24 more days of wellness that I'm going to be creating for you. And by the way, I have no idea how I'm going to do this, but I just know that I'm going to do it. And so every day I put aside, just like my friend CJ said, to write and to create and to listen to some of the feedback that I'm receiving from you, and to adhere to that, so that when I provide my lens, my story, my perception of how I'm experiencing life, and I share that with you, it can create greatness, and it can create something that feels good, not only to me, but to you also. And I really, really, really encourage you to do the same. The more positive affirmations that we provide for each other, the more that we can inspire each other to keep going and to sustain what is needed in this time. So as always, I ask you to comment below, to follow me on Facebook and Instagram. I have a couple social handles on Instagram. I'm not sure if any of you know this. Some of you do. I'm also your Miss West Coast United States. And so I have a great feed there that provides a lot of inspiring stories about service and what you can do to provide service for your community. I have a mindful nutrition feed that really focuses on just mindful nutrition and different ways to feed your vessel. In addition to that, I just started a feed called Strong from the Inside Out. And that's an awesome focused feed that is all about creating wonderful mindful practices on fitness therapy and how to feel good, not just from the outside where our muscles can be seen, but how and what it takes to create those muscles from the strength within. In addition to that, I plan on just creating a schedule for us. For the last week, I've been really trying to create some spontaneity, and now my dog's gonna chime in too. Just a bunch of more reoccurring unconditional factors. So anyways, back to that schedule. My goal for this week is to put together a really nice schedule of scheduled chats just like this that might have some more hyper-focused titles and themes, to provide some great workouts for you, as well as some yoga and meditation. And to share with you some of my insight and passion about writing and healing from the inside out, and being that great parent to your child within. So if any of these things interest you and you'd like to continue this journey with me in 30 Days of Wellness, please stay tuned and please comment. More feedbacks I get, the better. Like yesterday, for instance, when I was doing my Facebook Live, my screen was turned on the side, so it was great to hear those comments, even if it was afterwards, to turn your screen, because I would have known. I'm right here, right? I don't know. So I just want you to know, I really appreciate all of your feedbacks, and I appreciate you building this vortex with me and having what is needed to sustain from the inside out, and knowing how powerful the superpower of you being you is, and me being me is, and knowing that together we are strong, and mindfully and soulfully we'll be better for all this. We just got to focus on what we can do now. Okay? All right. I hope everyone has an awesome Sunday. Thank you for tuning in. I have loved seeing all of your comments and waves. And I really, really, really hope to hear more of them. Remember that all feedback is good feedback. Please make sure to comment below and follow me. And follow me on the other social handles of Instagram. And I will be posting everything on YouTube so that you can watch these at a further time if needed. Okay? All right. Hope everyone is having a great day. And I just want to say to you this, leave you with this. May everything that come to you be in light and love. May everything that come to you be in light and love. And may everything that move through you be in light and love. From my heart to yours, may peace be with you in this journey, and may you feel the blessings of your abundance every moment of every day. Thank you so much for finding me today and joining me in this practice and this share of Soul Talks. Namaste.